The full-sized SUV market is getting another big boy entry in the form of the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Now, I'm stoked to finally see an extra chonky Jeep, and the Grand Wagoneer is pretty fancy pants to boot. So let's see how it stacks up against one of my favorites, the Cadillac Escalade.
Let's go!
Now, I haven't driven the new Grand Wagoneer, so this is going to be a spec-to-spec comparison of engines, interior space, payload and towing, technology, and price. Further, the Grand Wagoneer is only available in four-wheel drive, so I'm going to keep the specs to the four-wheel drive Escalade to match it. First up, let's talk power plants. The Grand Wagoneer gets a 6.4-liter V8 good for 471 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. The Escalade sports a 6.2-liter V8 good for 420 horses and 460 pound-feet of torque. Now, Jeep does offer a 5.7-liter V8 with e-torque, but only in the more subdued Wagoneer, not the uber-upscale Grand Wagoneer, so I'm not going to include that here. Cadillac, however, will sell you a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder diesel with 277 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. So the first point is awarded to the Escalade for its choice of powertrains without compromising luxury. While both SUVs are rollin' pretty large and have 3 roomy rows, the Grand Wagoneer is a bit bigger all around, which translates into more interior space. The Grand Wagoneer has 179.2 cubic feet of overall passenger volume. The Escalade is sitting at 168.4 cubes. Legroom in the first row of the Jeep is 40.9 inches, but the Cadillac beats it with 44.5 inches. However, after that, it's all Jeep, with 42.7 inches of legroom in the second row compared to 41.7 inches in the Caddy, and 36.6 inches of third row legroom in the Grand Wagoneer compared to 34.9 inches in the Escalade. So point here goes to the Grand Wagoneer. When it comes to doing full-size SUV stuff, the Grand Wagoneer, which remember is only offered in full-time four-wheel drive, that can carry 1,450 pounds of payload. The Escalade, a bit more, at 1,647 pounds. Flip-flop it when talking about towing, the Jeep can tow 9,850 pounds, the four-wheel drive Escalade a max of 8,000 pounds. So I'm going to call this one a tie since neither really completely takes the category. For technology, I'm going to talk about 2 features: screens and advanced driver's aids. The Grand Wagoneer has a whole bunch of screens, but the standout is a 10.25-inch screen for the passenger, so they can access navigation, exterior cameras, and entertainment, either through their device and an HDMI cable, or through Fire TV for auto with all the TV shows and movies one could ever possibly want. The Escalade's claim to fame is a 38-inch diagonal curved OLED screen that wraps the driver with all the information they could ever need. With brilliant colors and twice the pixel density of a 4K television, the OLED screen makes the Escalade stand out in a way that the Grand Wagoneer just can't match. Now, although it's going to be a late availability technology, the Grand Wagoneer will eventually feature some kind of hands-off driving system. We don't know much about it, except that it works at any speed on approved roads, and it also monitors driver attention levels. But again, this is a late availability feature. Cadillac Super Cruise system is also hands-free, also works on approved roadways at any speed, and also monitors driver attention. However, Super Cruise can change lanes for you, and it's available now. Now, I'm going to give this one to Cadillac for having Super Cruise in its cars currently. And while I like the idea of a passenger having a screen of their own, in the end, it's just an additional screen, and I think Cadillac aims higher with the curved OLED. When it comes to price, Jeep makes things a bit complicated with standard pricing or pre-configured pricing. As such, the standard starting price for a Grand Wagoneer is $88,995, and that includes a $2,000 destination charge because, obviously, it's coming from Mars. If you want a pre-configured Grand Wagoneer with 20-inch wheels, a 12-inch Uconnect infotainment screen, and the front passenger screen, you're looking at $90,190 with that exorbitant destination fee. The Escalade keeps things simple, thank God. Keeping it to four-wheel drive, since that's the only thing on offer with the Grand Wagoneer, expect to pay $80,490, including a much more reasonable $1,295 destination fee. Price point? Cadillac Escalade. So we've got the Grand Wagoneer taking 2 points for passenger volume and cargo space, and the Escalade taking 3 points for engine, technology, and price. And we've got a stalemate for towing and hauling. So that means that the Cadillac Escalade wins our comparo 3-2! Of course, these categories may not be equally weighted for all buyers. I mean, for me personally, I'm going to want more off-road capability, so I wouldn't even really look at the Escalade since it was never meant to be more than a pavement princess. Further, there is more to a vehicle than a simple spec sheet. The real test will come when I drive these two behemoths back to back, but for now, I'll just say that the Grand Wagoneer has made a strong case for itself, but not enough to edge it over the top in this spec comparo.